This spring, we took a train, flew by plane, and were driven by bus to the beautiful town of Annecy. We arrived late afternoon, so the first stop was dinner food. We found some melted camembert with bread and honey. So yeah, we're in France. It was delicious, and that was just the first stop. We then strolled through the old town at night to hunt down some ice cream. The blueberry flavour Olesya got made her face purple. Day 2 started out with brunch and a walk down Lakeside. Now it's worth pointing out that there was rain forecast for every day of our trip, though our first day was perfect. Now that we could see all the picturesque French houses, we travelled back into the old town to see Annecy Castle. It was full of Count Louis's bedtime stories, Harry Potter fan art, and schools for ants. The castle, being in the centre of town and up a hill, had superb views of the town. After that, we climbed down for second brunch at the art cafe in the old prison. Also superb. And it was a good thing we made it to the shelter in time, because the rain had arrived. We ducked out of the rain and into the Bay Day Cafe, the town comic shop, which was quiet and full of nerds, fantastic art, and Tintin everything. A few books caught my attention. Lucky Luke, the year anniversary edition, looking badass and full of really solid drawings. Love, the dinosaurs, Boulet's comics and sketchbooks. I would have bought all of them if they were in English. So all in all, Annecy is a pretty standard town, with its chocolate shoes and knives. Post-brunch, it's pancake time. Le Cure Gourmand is a sweet shop in the middle of the town, and it's insane. Full of every flavour of chocolate fudge, stuffed biscuits, and bonbons, which made somebody very happy. I got a little bit of sketching done while Olesya took a nap, and then we ended the day with a relaxing pedal boat out into the middle of the lake. Plans and actions today. We head back into the centre of town for the market, which took up almost all of the streets in Old Town, and has basically everything a supermarket would, except it's outside. We wanted to pick up some fruit and veg for the week, so this was quite useful, because French shops open and close whenever they feel like it. And though the market food is good, it was a bit expensive. We came away with pastries and sandwiches, perfect lunch to take on a bike out of town. The bike hire is cheap, and there's a bike path that goes most of the way around the lake, definitely the best way to see the area. It was also a good rain escape plan, as Annecy was forecast for thunderstorms. It was a really nice ride. There were no steep hills, and we kept mostly quite close to the lake. After biking for a few hours, we reached the end of the track, and instead of joining the road to finish the route, we decided to head back along the path home, for refreshments and cartoons. We found the best place for breakfast. There's a cafe called Sur le Pas du Petit Boîte. They gave us a timer, so the tea was brewed well, and the best jam and bread. Outside on the streets there was an exhibition of student work, an art challenge proposed by Pixar for the prize of a scholarship. What is going on in the ocean? There is a shark with his boxing gloves. Follow Juliet though, her art is phenomenal. People have started turning up for the animation festival. No films yet, so we go on exploring until we got hungry, and then Maxi Burger, it's as big as your face. Oh my god, it's Maxi Burger, it's so good. We go to see our first screening. This is the line for the people with passes. This is the one for people without. So we got to the front of the queue, got some sweets, and settled in to watch My Life as a Courgette. And it was amazing. One of the best films of the last few years. I haven't been so engaged in a story in a long time. It's clever, it's quiet, it's kind, and it doesn't talk down to the audience. And best of all, it covers a well-trodden subject without falling into any cliches. It's genuinely realistic and moving. We popped back home for dinner, where Olesya indulged in figgy biscuits, and then straight back to the theatre for the second screening. A collection of short films by students, all of them were up for awards. And oh man, what a contrast. They were exhaustingly depressing. Annecy Festival is in full swing. Everyone is just queuing in the rain. So Olesya wanted authentic French cuisine from France, but the food was awful. I think it was spiced with butter. Then we took a trip to see what was going on the other side of the lake. Turns out not a whole lot, except peacocks. Did our short walk deserve cake? I think it did. Although the chandelier in this cafe appears to be getting sucked upstairs. I don't know what's going on there, but these pigs seem to have something they're not telling us. And the only other thing that I cared to see in the day was sold out. No short films for me. However, we did stumble upon this art history building, which had a full-on animation exhibition, full of old early machines, zoetropes, and theatre equipment from the early days of animation. There were some cells drawn by Richard Williams, animations made from etchings straight onto the film reels, and some future animator fashion. In the morning we got all packed up and ready to go back home, so we spent the final day taking one last circuit about the town. Olesya picked up a snack in the cutest takeaway box. This may have been the best weather that we had from the entire trip, but that's fine. I took Olesya for a maxi burger, but she wasn't as impressed as I was, so she went back to the sweet shop for nougat. And I got to see some friends who were here for the festival. It's such a rare occasion that we're all in the same place, but it was great to catch up after such a while. We ended up spending the rest of the day sunbathing, and it took me too long to realise that the sun was just eating my skin, so I fashioned a hood into a sun protector. We went for one last milkshake and left on the long trip home.